The order of operations is a set of rules that governs which operations take precedence. For example, in the expression given here, we have 3 plus 4 times 2 minus 1 quantity squared divided by 2. There's a lot of ways we could evaluate that, but there's only one correct way. We're tempted to add 3 to 4 first, but that's not the way the order specifies. The order of operations says we do all operations inside parentheses first. We do exponent operations before multiplying and dividing. We do multiplying and dividing before we do adding and subtracting. So we follow that order. We do all the operations in the parentheses. We do 3 plus 4 times 2 minus 1. Well, within the parentheses, we do the multiplying before we add and subtract. So we do that 4 times 2 first, and that gives us 8. We take 3 plus 8 minus 1, and we have to evaluate that. Well, we'd go from left to right and add 3 to 8 to make 11. Then we'd take 11 minus 1 to give us 10. That gives us 10 squared divided by 2. The order of operations says to square before dividing, so 10 squared is 10 times 10, which makes 100. And then we divide that by 2, and we get our answer of 50. And here's the order of operations spelled out. We do all operations inside parentheses first. We do all exponent operations from left to right next. We do all dividing and multiplying from left to right next. And then finally, we do all subtracting and adding from left to right. We have a few examples that show how this order of operations is used. In this example, we evaluate 10 plus 4 times 2 minus the quantity 12 minus 3 squared, quantity squared, times 2. Well, by the order of operations, we first do the operations inside the parentheses, the 12 minus 3 squared. And of those two operations, subtraction and exponent, we do the exponent first, because that takes precedence over subtraction. So we do the 3 squared first, and that turns into 9. The next thing we do is subtract the 12 minus 9 to give us 3. So now we have 10 plus 4 times 2 minus 3 squared times 2. The order of operations says to do that exponent operation next. The 3 squared is 3 times 3, and that gives us 9. Now we have an addition, a subtraction, and 2 multiplies. Well, by the order of operations, we do the multiplies before we do any adding and subtracting. And we can do both of these in one step. We can do the 4 times 2, and then also the 9 times 2. The 4 times 2 turns into an 8. The 9 times 2 turns into an 18. And I leave the subtraction sign between the two quantities. And now we add and subtract from left to right. 10 plus 8 makes 18. So then we have 18 minus the other 18, and then that gives us an answer of 0. In this example, we're going to evaluate 10 plus 4 minus 2 times 3 minus 4 minus 3 quantity squared plus 2 times 5. The order of operations says to do those operations inside the parentheses first. So that's where we'll start. The 4 minus 3 gives us 1. Well, now, after we replace 4 minus 3 with 1, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and also an exponent operation. Well, the order of operations says to do that exponent next. Well, 1 squared is 1 times 1, which is just 1. Now we do the multiplies before we do any of the additions or subtractions. We have a 2 times 3, and we also have a 2 times 5. We multiply the 2 times 3 to give us 6. We multiply the 2 times 5 to give us 10. We leave all the addition and subtraction signs just as they are. And now we have 10 plus 4 minus 6 minus 1 plus 10. The order of operations says to subtract and add from left to right. So that's what we'll do. The 10 plus 4 makes 14. In the next step, we take 14 minus 6, and that gives us 8. Then we take 8 minus 1, and that gives us 7. And that finally leaves just 7 plus 10, and that gives us our answer of 17. In this final example, we're going to evaluate an expression that has two sets of parentheses, one within the other. When you have parentheses inside parentheses, you do the operations on the innermost parentheses first. In this case, we're going to do the 12 minus 5 times 2 first. Well, when we have a subtraction and a multiplication, we do the multiplication first. We do the 5 times 2 first, and that gives us 10. Then we take 12 minus 10 to give us 2. And now we do the 2 cubed before we add 1. And 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, and that makes 8. Then we take 8 plus 1 to give us 9. And then 9 squared will be 9 times 9, and that gives us a final answer of 81. There's an acronym to remember here that'll be helpful, and it's called PEMDAS. And PEMDAS stands for parentheses first, then exponents, then multiply, divide from left to right, and then finally add and subtract from left to right.